Ajahn, may I ask a question about experiencing? Because you frequently talk about citta. Citta is constantly experiencing an object and falling away. But what is the actual nature of that experiencing, and can we actually know it?
Yes, for sure. What appears now? Is there nothing or something there appearing?
No, there is always something appearing.
Okay. How can it
rapidly falling away?
appear?
So,
for example, sound. How can it appear? Just appear, or how can it appear?
well, it can only appear as an object to citta, but I think my question is around what is that actual experience? It's not thinking, is it? We're not, when we talk about citta experiencing an object, we're not talking about thinking, because thinking comes at a later stage. So what is the actual function? What is that function of experience? Is it like recognizing, knowing? Yes.
That's why we have to understand the three moments, to understand the difference between realities which arise and experience an object in different manners, different characteristics, different function. For example, at moment of sound appearing, how can it appear? Appear to what? See, now sound is there.
Yes, I think that's what I'm trying to get at, is that there is something else as well as the sound, and that's the experiencing of the sound. But can that be known? Can the actual...
Yes, so that which experiences it is there, right? But only one object, one reality can appear at a time. When sound is there appearing, that which experiences it does not appear. That's why learning to understand the reality which arises and experiences an object. Otherwise, there's no world, nothing at all, from life to life. But when whatever is there appearing, there must be the reality which experienced that object. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So, no one think about it, the reality which experiences an object in a day. Just think about the object which appears all the time. But it appears to what? At that very moment when it appears to what? Only to that which arises and experience it. See? So whatever is there in life, in the world, no matter what world, all depends on the reality which arises and experience the object. That is its nature, its characteristic, its function, just to arise, to experience clearly the characteristic of the object, no matter what. That's why we learn to understand different moment of different object. But there must be a reality which is there, arising and experiencing at that very moment, only that object. That's why learning to understand what is there which is hidden. No one thought about it, but it's there from birth. Never lost at all from moment to moment. It's conditioned, presenting to the moment unknown as it's the reality which experiences the object. For example, sound now, it's that which experiences sound. And when there is thinking, the object is the thought. and what experiences it. Memory marks, vitakka, and so on perform this function, but the reality, which is the chief of experiencing the object, is always unknown. That's why, without understanding just one reality at a time, a little more, deeper and clearly, it's impossible to directly experience the truth of that which experiences the object, the chief of experience, the object. Otherwise, nothing can be there at all. Nothing can arise without that which is the chief arising with whatever mental factor. But this is the characteristic, only one characteristic, which experiences the characteristic of the object. Only that clearly is function as manindariya, the chief of experiencing, performing the function of experiencing. That's all. And attachment or ignorance arises with at the moment of citta, when there is something with it appearing like attachment. And one object can appear at a time. Even attachment appears to the citta, which experiences it. Otherwise, how can it appear? The characteristic of attachment is there known as I like it very little or very much. But the reality which experiences that characteristic, which like or attached, does not appear until it's known little by little to be citta-nupassana satipatthana, the true nature, very precise characteristic, which arises to just experience the object, while the other reality arising with it appear one at a time. But without citta, which experience it, it cannot appear. No matter it is anger is there with citta, but citta is not known, and anger is known when it's there. That's why one reality can be experienced at a time, only one. And the reality, which is the chief of experiencing, cannot be changed at all. It arises just to be the chief of experiencing what is there in anywhere, anytime, unknown. That's why it can be opened up to be known when there's more attention and understanding the difference between the mental factors and the chief of that which experiences, which does not have any other characteristic like attachment, aversion, greed, or hatred, and on. Whatever is there, all are experienced by citta. But the experiencing does not appear, only one reality, the object, as object can appear to be known. At moment of liking, desire, attaching, at that moment, it can be there only when citta is there, experience that characteristic. So the characteristic of attachment is known because it's there as one object, like sound, like visible object, like smell, and so on. That's why we have to understand the difference between citta and cetasikas. And what is the chief of experiencing? Without it, can the attachment be known? It's there known because citta experienced that characteristic. So it appears to be attachment or aversion or whatever. It's really the chief of the world of experiencing. Otherwise, nothing can appear at all. That's why everything is under the power of citta. Without it, nothing can be known.
So it's like the means whereby the world appears.
So that can be the understanding of without citta, which is the chief of experiencing what is there appearing. Nothing can be known at all. Or without citta, no cetasika can arise. because citta is the chief of experiencing that object together with other cetasika, like phassa. It does not experience the object as clear, as a chief, as citta. It just that which experience the object by touching, by way of just touching, only that. Because it arises as an a reality which experience, but it's not as a chief. It's only a reality which arises to experience by touching. Just touch, because it knows, it experiences, and it touch. While Vedana is another one. It feels, it does not be the chief of experiencing the object. But when citta is there, experiences the object so clear, Vedana arising with that can be that which is almost in a day not known because it's neutral. But when it's dukkha or sukha, it's known as its characteristic. But if citta is not there, experience that, how can it be the object to be known? Like now. So what is there must be the object of citta. And while the other cetasikas perform their function differently, together with citta, because citta experiences the object so clear that it conditions attachment, aversion, or ignorance, pride, proud, ego, anything, all depends on the arising of citta, which experiences such object to be known that it's there. There is attachment, for sure, but can attachment arise without citta, experiences that object? And at moment when it's there, it cannot be known if citta does not experience it. For example, there is a neutral feeling like now. It's not known. It arises in foreign way with so many cittas unknown. But when it's known, citta experiences it. So it's there to be known. Like citta hears, so the sound is there to be known. Citta sees, so what is seen is there to be known. So citta experiences hatred. So hatred appears to be known. Otherwise, how can hatred just arise by itself? It has to be the object to be known. Citta experiences everything, even nibbana and whatever. The function of the citta is just to arise and experience the object only. Clearly, that's all. And the other mental factors experience the same object with different characteristics. No one at all. That's why even right now, what appears, no matter what, citta experience it. Otherwise, how can it appear? Even its manasikara, viriya, sanda, cetasika, even they arise together, but the cetasika, which arises with citta, depending on the other moment when it's the object of citta, so it can be known. But at moment of experiencing an object, what is the citta and cetasika? What is the object of understanding? Even citta sees now, it experiences the visible object now. Can it be known? It has to be known by panya, the other moment, to begin to understand the characteristic of the reality which never been known at all, never been thought about at all, just attend to the characteristic of the object as rupa, hatred, and so on. And without understanding the characteristic of citta, there cannot be letting go of whatever is there as something or I. There must be I all the time because citta is there all the time. That's why each word has to be clearly understood, like citta is the chief of experiencing. Everything is under its power. At moment of its experiences, it brings about what is there, which has been accumulated